What's up, everybody? It's the Best Spot Kid Smooth, and I am back with another video. Try to do this video on an annual basis, but I don't know. Did I skip last year? Maybe. I just want to give you guys a list of my favorite games of 2024. The games I've had, a great deal of time in, spent time in. A lot of these games is pretty much the games that released in 2024. Though a lot of the games I played this year, actually, I played I played a couple of games this year that released obviously long ago. Honorable mentions: I played Tomb Raider Definitive Edition on PC. Been playing I played a RoboCop at the start of the year. Enjoyed that game. One of my favorite games of the generation. Dying Light 2, which came out last in 23. I played all through the expansions this year. Got the 100% completion. So those are definitely among some of my favorite games this year. They are not on this list because, again, they came out last year, and I have reviews and stuff for those games available on the channel. Now, I do have all the games that made this list this year. There is a review that exists for each of these games, but this one I'm going to go in a particular order. So my favorite games this year, I'm going to start with Flintlock's The Siege of Dawn. This game came out, I think, sometime in maybe spring, summer. This was a Game Pass gem. This is a Souls-like game, maybe light because it's not as difficult. There is difficulty options for this game. I played this game, I think, either on the default or the one before the hardest one, which I think you had to unlock. It wasn't doing anything super impressive in terms of the visuals. The story was decent. I think some of this game got some flack for DEI because people don't like that the primary character is black, it's a black woman, whatever. So it had that going against it. But as far as the game, I thought it was pretty dope. I've done a few guides to this game, had fun with it, put a ton of hours in. I think this landed in my end of the year wrap up in my top 5 as far as most played. I thought they did a good thing with the story, and they did a decent job with some of these boss fights, especially when you figure it out. But I would say it's an average game, but for me, it was one of my favorites that I played. Definitely recommended. This game, I think you can pay maybe $35. It's probably on sale right now, but it is on Game Pass, so it's definitely worth checking out, in my opinion. The next game is Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. Now, this game, man, it's mixed. It's not that there was anything I didn't like about this game, whether it's the graphics, the story. Now, this story was pretty dope. I thought the story was dope. I enjoyed the quests, the side quests, the choices, and how impactful the choices were in this game. The combat it's very familiar. It has that Souls-like combat that God of War, where obviously it's shoulder button, the trigger buttons, you got the parry, and then you got special moves. I like the sort of dual thing between you and the companion, and how they interchange with the fighting moves and the type of moves you can do in the middle of combat. Certain enemies you come across, you might have to switch to the companion before going back to essentially human form. But this game is about, honestly, banishing ghosts, helping people cross over. The only thing I didn't like about this game that really kind of shortened the mileage that I would put in this game is because of the things that you have to do to whether you have to summon a creature to fight, or do something to free someone, to free a spirit. It's a lot of the stuff, the symbolism, it reminded me of a lot of witchcraft. So I couldn't really super get comfortable and dive deep into the game, because I was I don't know what the heck, these things are actually summoning, and how deep these developers went into with the symbolism and stuff like that. So it's stuff like that I'm a bit sensitive to. So I really kind of just played through the story, and it's as much of a game because I enjoyed every other aspect of the game, as far as the combat, the quest lines, the way the game looks, and the things you could do. The game has a lot of replayability because there's different branching stories that you can do and take care of. It's because the nature of the game and that uncertainty about it that sort of cut my malice. So once I got through with the game once, I didn't want to pick it up again. Not because it was any bad, it's because I'm just not really spiritually, I'm not really into that, and I don't play a lot of those games because of that reason. This one was just like leaning too deep into it, and I was like, I can't really stick with this. But it is, like I said, if you guys, for those who aren't like really cognizant or well versed in that stuff, and you just want like a video game to play, I definitely go ahead and check it out. This game isn't on Game Pass. I think I was given like a review code for this game, but it is a decent game, decent quality game that's probably overlooked. Again, for those who are well versed and aware of and aware of like your your spiritual status and stuff like that. It's some people is not going to be into that type of game or the message or what you essentially have to do in the video game. So, but I had a good time with the game despite those moments. And again, like I said, if it was the same game, like just put in a different setting with different goals, it's probably Game of the Year contender for me. The next game on my list that I thoroughly enjoyed for sure has to be Star Wars Outlaws. Now, this is a game that's getting a lot of flack, getting a lot of hate for whatever reason. I played the game at launch. I played a preview of it. Ubisoft sent me a review code. I didn't have a problem with the launch version of the game where the game really sort of wanted you to stealth through. It did have some things where, if you were doing a mission that was required you to stealth, and if you got caught, it was pretty much game over for that mission. People didn't like that. All it did was just make me get better at stealthing at games so I could easily approach stealth games better. It just made me play the game just a certain way. I'm not the biggest fan of 100% stealth games. I like stealth as an option. They made a few updates to this game to make it more so an optional thing, but that was sort of the gimmick of the game because she's not no super Jedi or anything like that. She can't do anything. She's a freaking outlaw with a freaking little gun, does odd jobs and stuff like that. She's on a run. But this one had a dope story. I had fun playing this game, dude. I think I put like 50 hours into the game. I'm itching to actually play it again, probably to play it on PC. I played the entire game on Xbox Series X. I had a good time with the game. From just the combat, the stealth, the sneaking around, just the way the game looks. I think they put together a well packaged. This was literally a game vying for like my personal game of the year. The only thing there were some things about this game I didn't care for, honestly. Some of the things that are forced in is definitely like a left leaning game, but in terms of just that replayability, the fun, a game that you can just play through, I enjoyed this game. I enjoyed the game. I had fun with it. It didn't overstay its welcome, and you can always go back to it. It's a big world. It's an Ubisoft game, though. So it's a Star Wars. It's an Ubisoft game themed in Star Wars. So obviously, there's a lot. There's always bounties and contracts and side quests and collectibles you can do. This is one of those games that screams, get the 100% achievement, get the 100% completion. And I think I'm about 66% the way there with this game. And I'm always itching to come back. It's a game that I still, even after completion, I still have installed on my Xbox because it's one of those games that I just like to just play and see, hey, what can I complete for the next, 2 hours? But I had a lot of fun with this game. This game came out in like August. Had a ton of updates. I haven't played it in a few months, but plan to pick it back up fairly soon. Probably try to clean it up and get that 100% completion. But if you haven't tried Star Wars Outlaws, get it. This is not on Game Pass, but I do got a good feeling they'll be there soon. But if you're playing on Xbox, PlayStation, whatever, this is a good game. I definitely want to check it out on PC because I think I get to see the game how I really want to see it. The Xbox did a good job with it, but I play most games on Xbox so in performance mode. This game, like I said, performs well in performance mode. It just doesn't look the greatest, so that's why I'm curious to see what it truly looks like at like a high resolution 4K 60 FPS on PC. So it's on sale, so I'm potentially looking to pick it back up. And Ubisoft does something special. They do like these cross saves things, a cross-platform cross save. I'm not sure if Outlaws does that, but a lot of their games, like especially the Assassin's Creed games, if you have a profile on it, like if I buy like Odyssey or something like that on PlayStation or PC, my save file from Xbox just goes with me, so it's like free trophies and whatnot. So that's why I'm like itching to do it, but I hate buying the same game twice. So but definitely Star Wars Outlaws, one of my favorite games of 2024. Now we're getting into Game of the Year territory. Hellblade 2 was Senua's Sacrifice, Hellblade 2, or no, I'm sorry, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. All right, this game got a lot of flack. A lot of people were very polarized by this game. Is it really a game? It's too cinematic. I don't care whatever it is, dude. This is the best looking game of the generation so far. A true technical achievement to showcase Unreal Engine 5. And I've had the pleasure of playing this game on Xbox Series X and PC, and shout out to Ninja Theory. They did a miraculous job because I played on PC 4K, no, not 4K, 1440p high settings, and played on at whatever Xbox Series X settings are, and the games don't look different. And this is one of those games, even the thing that people were upset about is that it was limited to 30 FPS on Xbox Series X and S. I'm sorry, 60 the way combat works and stuff like that. It's one of the games where I didn't really actually mind that it wasn't 60 FPS. Not that I say it doesn't. I would never say the game doesn't need to be 60 FPS. It just didn't. I don't think it made a difference. I'm playing it, and I had to play again like today on PC just to see. I was like, all right, how big of a difference is it making it? And when you consider all the slow walking and the slow walking, the pace of the game, you really don't achieve what you want to do when you're playing a game at 60 FPS. So to me, the game this time around, to me, in my opinion, was more gamified than the first person. I did like the story. I actually loved the story. I love that they brought in other human players to up the ante, up the conversations, up the story, and the set pieces between Senua and other people that she's dealing with, other people that she's saving, encountering the giants that throughout this game. It was just an experience. I loved it. They had a ton of set pieces. The graphics are beautiful. The puzzles were so-so. The combat was more visceral, more impactful. Felt like it meant something, and it occurred more often, in my opinion, than the first game. I just had a good time, and of course, I 100%ed it and completed it. And I just, at that point in time, I think my score, I think I gave it a 9 out of 10. As far as I was just very, very impressed with this game. I was most impressed with this game, and I think the difference between Hellblade 2 and my actual game of the year, which is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which I actually scored lower than Hellblade 2. I think I scored Indiana Jones and the Great Circle at 8.5 out of 10 versus Hellblade 9 out of 10. The reason is that Hellblade is, like I said, I was more impressed with the game because I did not think they would achieve that on the Xbox Series X, that level of fidelity, those level of graphics, and then they just did a beautiful job with the package overall. It's just that Indiana Jones is the game I had the most fun with all year. It was just more my speed. Me personally, you guys know I love action adventure. I love puzzle platformers. And I love good graphics overall. I just love a good game, sophisticated games. And what Indiana Jones did, it wasn't a first-person shooter. It was a adventure action game. So it was a well-balanced game that included everything I liked. The combat, even though it wasn't heavy shooting, it was melee combat, and the melee combat felt right, felt punchy, felt solid, satisfying. The design everywhere you went, whether it's the Vatican City, whether it's the Himalayas, whether it's freaking Giza in Iraq, everything looked great. And the way that the game world and the quest lines and the side quests, the story itself was very enjoyable. I had a good time, a real good time with Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and I'm still playing it today. And the reason why the score is actually lower than Hellblade 2 is because despite, all the great things about the game did launch with a few bugs. A lot of stuff has been, patched out, but the bugs that irked me more so is where it's stopping me from getting my 100% completion. So I'm waiting for them to update the game to fix. I'm missing one magazine in Giza. I go to it, it's just not there for me to pick up. And as far as there's one quest or activity related to Gina where you have to give her some frequency cards, and she's just not there to take them. And that's in the second area where you got to ride around in the boat. It's driving me nuts. So I boot the game up each day just to see, is this been fixed? Is it something? And so that's one of the reasons why I have 101 hours. I think at the time that I my true playing hours, I think I've committed maybe 37 plus hours to it. But the other hours is just trying to play around those bugs and try to clean up the rest of the achievements. It's Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Despite that, is one hell of a game, dude. Is one hell of a game. Had so much fun with it. I continue to play. I think I'm still going to play it. I'm looking forward to the expansion. This is one of those situations where I might just buy that bad boy on PlayStation when it launches in the spring, just because I know that I can get the easy platinum for it. And I'm going to assume by that time the bug that I'm dealing with now is going to be fixed, because I do expect them to fix that bugs by the holiday or before the holiday. But yeah, man, my 5 favorite games of 2024 includes Flintlock Siege of Dawn, Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden, Star Wars Outlaws, Senua Saga Hellblade 2, and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Man, what are your 5 favorite games of 2024? One thing you will notice about my list, I have interest in a lot of games, but my favorite games never align with what you see at the Game Awards. The games that I enjoy the most never win Game of the Year. I think all the games that I play, I don't even think any of them has been nominated to any degree, with the exception of Hellblade. I think the actress won a few awards for her performance in Senua Saga Hellblade 2. But generally outside of that, I just like really decent games and a lot of these games don't get a lot of coverage, don't get a lot of feedback. Obviously, Ubisoft is a big publisher, so Star Wars definitely got some coverage and whatnot. I do think the game is underrated for the way people talk about it. And the rest of the games, you guys just haven't checked out. You can also check out my stats on these games, on Banishers, on Flintlock, on Star Wars Outlaws, on Hellblade 2, on Indiana Jones, and see if I can back up what I'm saying for these games. I have reviews, I think, for all these games on my channel, and I have some high gamer score and high hour count in all these games on my Xbox account. But that's all I got for you guys for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. As always, Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. I am out of here. Peace.